Hi and welcome to another one of my tutorials, and today we're learning how to find the domain of a composite function. So let's do this. We're giving f of x equals 8 over x minus 8 and g of x equals to 1 over x, and we're asked to find the domain of fog, which is f of g, right? So what we want to do first is find the domain of g of x, which is 1 over x. So find the domain of g over x. And remember how the domain was just a number that made the term at the bottom be equal to 0. So 1 over x, and we have to make this x equals to 0. So that would be just 0. So your x equals to 0. That means that your domain is 0. This is your domain. 0 is your domain, and you would write it like this: x is not equal to 0. You see? There's your answer for the first one. Now we want to find what is the domain of our f of x. So x minus 8, right, equal to 0, and x equals to 8. So that's our 0. But since f is not in the domain of f, gx cannot equal to 8. Now we have to solve this. G of x equals to x to 8, which is 1 over x equals to 8, and 1 equals to 8x. So our x would be equal to 1 over 8. Okay? 1 over 8. And this is your domain. So your domain, your final answer, would look like this. Right. Final answer would be x. X is not equal to 0, and x is not equal to 1 over 8. Now you might find that a little bit confusing, and that's why we have our beautiful calculator. Yeah, that's it. This beautiful calculator. Now let's see, how do we get it on our calculator? Well, we're looking for fog, right? So we're going to input fog, which would be 8 over our x, which is 1 over x, right? Because 1 over x is g of x, and we're doing f of g. So 1 over x, and we want to put double parentheses here because this whole thing is on its own. Wait, oh. So second insert parentheses, here you go. 1 over x minus 8, close parentheses, and second table, and you're gonna get this x is not equal to 0 and x is not equal to 1 over 8 is gonna be one of your options. So you're just gonna go to your 0. You're gonna notice that there's an error there, so that means that that's one of the numbers in your domain, and you can't see 1 over 8 here. So you're gonna go to second window, which is table set, and you're gonna go down to independent and enter ask, then second graph, which is your table, and ask what happens at 1 over 8. There's an error, so that's another one of your answers. Okay, it's not that hard. Hope you get it. Now let's do another one. Let me just put this back where it belongs. Auto, second, quit. Okay, now we'll do another one, which you have to see what happens when we are asked to find the domain of fog. Okay, so domain of fog, and our f of x is equal to x squared plus 9, and our g of x is equal to the square root of x minus 1. What is the domain of g of x? Oh my god. Well, the domain of g of x would be equal to what? Do you know? You know that in order to find the domain of this function, we have to make it an inequality. So we have our square root of x minus 1, and we have to put this a greater than or equal to sign. So greater than or equal to 0. That's the way we started. Now we're gonna square this side and square this side, and we get our x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, because the squared cancels the square root. So now x would be greater than or equal to 1, because we moved this negative 1 to the right and it became a positive 1. So this is your answer. This is your domain. So x must be greater than or equal to 1, and your domain would be written like x is greater than or equal to 1. So don't forget to do that whenever you have something in a square root with the greater than or equal to sign. So there's one of our numbers, okay? And what is the domain of f of x? Well, it's all real numbers, because the domain of a polynomial is all real numbers. So the domain was that, okay? Or you could just, so the domain was x, when x is not greater than or equal to 1, yes. Or just take out your calculator and plot it, input it. We're looking for fog, so open parentheses and square root of x minus 1. X minus 1. Yeah. Square root of x minus 1 squared minus 9. Second table, and you can see that it starts at 1, greater than or equal to 1, goes all the way over here. So if you see errors, these don't count. So your domain is the number where the numbers begin, right? Where the number after the errors end. So 1, yeah, greater than or equal to. That's it. That's your answer, and I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something from it. Remember, subscribe and like all of my stuff and look at all these things. Good luck on your midterm, homeworks, or whatever, and have a great night of study and practice. And I'll see you in a while, or next week, or someday. Yeah.